Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, and I want to talk about his spectacular performance in the 2024 U.S. presidential primary debate on December 6th, 2023. And this was his fourth debate, and there were only four people in the debate, and one of them didn't even count. Chris Christie ain't going anywhere. He is an absolute waste of space on there. I wish they'd get him off, but we'll, let him fall out from genuine lack of performance, but we'll get there. All right. So, that's a whole, you know what? Let me stay focused. I want to do my video here on the topic that I chose. What is the topic today? Today we're going to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy in the debate. We're going to talk about data visualization and why it is so powerful and how he used it extremely powerfully. But first, I do want to talk a little bit about something. I really want to just say thank you to each and every one of you who are listening to this channel and considering voting for Vivek Ramaswamy and are supporting him actively and are engaged with the U.S. with the 2024 U.S. presidential race. And a lot of people side-eye us, man. They're like, oh, politics aren't important, and you guys are, you're wasting your time, man. And you guys aren't. You are engaged in the political process. And a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, like football, or you talk about, Marvel movies, or, actually, let's just talk about talk about Marvel movies pretty deep, because it's really kind of a discussion of modern mythology. But, people think that that when we are engaged with politics, it's no big deal. It's a big freaking deal. And I really want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And the reason why is I am so joyful and filled with hope right now, right? And, this ain't my first rodeo. I've been down this road before, with Andrew Yang. And I really pushed to get Andrew Yang in the slot, right? And it's why I'm excited to have Vivek Ramaswamy again. I'm excited to have a young, vibrant, intelligent, charismatic, confident person that I know, if they are chosen to lead this nation, the world, not just America, the world will change, and America will be massively better. And right now, we are less than a year away. We are 11 months away, right? And right now, we have this hope. Can you imagine if Vivek Ramaswamy becomes president, right? Look, bureaucracy is going to be cut massively, right? We'll get tons of, three-letter departments that shouldn't exist to go away. Now, of course, I do want to spin up another department, but that's a different story. And then, and it's okay. We'll have a massive reduction of these three-letter. We'll get rid of 10 and we'll add 1, right? So that's a net 9. So there, math, right? But also, we're going to be able to burn fossil fuels without being shamed for it, right? We can have cool cars. We can return to reasonable, responsible, respectable, not laughable energy use. Like we can just use the resources we have. We have 400 years of oil, right? Whereas green energy can't even give us not even a tenth of what we need now, right? I agree with Vivek. Green energy is a hoax. It is just, it's unicorn tears and pixie dust. It's nothing, right? And we have real oil as a real resource. I am just so thankful that each day I have hope, right? That there is a man, and I truly believe, right? I think I understand, right? There's a culture war right now, and I really wish we had an evangelical Christian who could get the job done, right? Vivek can get the job done. He's a good man. He's a person of faith. I would prefer if maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe he'll convert to evangelical Christianity. But I'm just so hopeful to have a person who is a good, kind, tolerant, super intelligent, super effective person who I know he has a 5% chance to lead this country, and I will take it, man, because I have been ground to dust this year under the boot of President Joseph Biden, right? And I know that I was not ground under dust under the boot of of President Donald Trump. I actually did extremely well under President Donald Trump, but there were people who were, right? If you didn't share his 2 attributes that were just like him, then you got quite literally ground under the boot, right? It wasn't Donald Trump's boot, but it was his boys. So you could bet that, right? Right. And so, but right now, this year, I've taken some serious L's because of President Biden. I'll tell you that right now. It's been bad, right? Bad. And I'm just extremely hopeful. And I thank you for that hope. And the reason why is when I talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, people connect, people come back, and people are like, yeah, man, let's get it done, right? And I'm excited about that, right? So I just wanted to say thank you. All right. Let's get into this. Data visualization. All right. During the debate, okay, Vivek Ramaswamy took his legal pad and a Sharpie and wrote Nikki equals corrupt in big, bold, black letters, right? And he held it up to the screen in his left hand, right? And and it was like, Nikki is corrupt, right? And it seemed like a small thing. It is everything. Okay, first of all, I have a friend who works in tech, and he has explained data visualization to me, right? And data visualization is super important today. It's where you because basically he could have said, hey, Nikki's corrupt, right? But he's on stage, right? He uses the resources he has right there to say the thing in a different way. And that's a big deal because not everyone responds to auditory. Some people respond to a visual cue, right? And even if you had heard him say Nikki is corrupt, right? Here you're getting it from a different pathway in your brain, right? And what blew me away and what made me so excited, right, was he understands data visualization, right? I trust and believe no 80-year-olds know what data visualization is or how to use it. And he was quite literally being quick on his feet, fast thinking. 80-year-olds don't think fast. They can barely finish paragraphs. The idea that they can lead the free world is ludicrous, insulting, and cruel, right? He was showing his furiously quick brain, right? And doing something in a really significant, really special, really powerful, unique way, right? Data visualization right there in the middle of the debate. And it was powerful, and it was epic, and it was awesome, and it was effective, right? And the other thing I love too is they don't have that much, really every other candidate was like, all I have is my mouth. And he was like, no, I will use everything available to me, right? And he did data visualization. And here's the kicker, right? If we get this guy in, the whole world changes. First of all, we will have him in on every disaster site, minute 1. Right? And everybody's like, "Oh, Scott, you can't take a president into a disaster site." Yes, you can, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, it caused a lot of traffic." Blah 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 blah. The press goes where the president goes. Get him on every disaster site within minutes, right? I want him there, close to the tornado, right? And with Vivek Ramaswamy, because he's super young, super healthy, and can, and you can put him in boots and he can literally, walk over rubble, right? He can be there handing a bottle of water to a child, to a woman, to a man in distress, right? And this is an action figure president, right? We are going to be there, right? But in order to do that, you got to have a guy who can improvise, right? Not literally not get killed because he tripped over a microphone wire, right? Not literally have, President Biden, and this will be exactly the same for President Trump. President Biden has turned the Secret Service into elder care. They're supposed to block bullets for him. You know what they do? They watch him trip over microphone wires. and their job is picking him up and praying his bones aren't broken. This is outrageous. We have got to stop this. Excuse me. This is a ludicrous, outrageous, cruel experiment, and it must be stopped. We must never again have an 80-year-old president. And the reason why is if we don't stop this, we're going to have a 90-year-old president, because gerontocracy is a force of nature and it is coming quick, right? So the reality is, that fast thinking, I'm like, we can do everything with this guy. We can put him on disaster sites. We can send him around the world. He can be the first action figure president, right? Based on his youth, based on his hyper fast intelligence, based on his adaptability, right? And it all comes from this data visualization, right? He just used what he had and he rocked it. He absolutely rocked it. And I'm just so excited to fundamentally change the shape of leadership, right? I want some, and this is the kicker. Let's stop pretending. The U.S. presidency is a absolutely critical physical job. Physical, right? You've got to be able to be on site. You've got to be able to run into the twister. You have got to be able to help people in a disaster, right? And the reason why is showing yourself on the disaster site, doing the thing, helping the people, inspires others to do a better job and to be there and to send billions, right? This is it. Vivek Ramaswamy is the man, right? He is able to be the first action figure president. Let's get there. I am so excited about that. I'm fired up by this data visualization thing because it was brilliant. It was small, but it showed the shape of the future. What if we didn't have to protect our president? What if he protected us? That's what Vivek Ramaswamy can do. This guy rocks. He is the future, right? He is our best path forward. He slays hyper prejudiceness in the Republican Party. He brings us our first action figure president, and he fundamentally changes the job to say, no, you need a brain and a body to do this job. We will not let you sit and sign. Get up, get going, let's get this done. This job is about action, not sitting, right? And hoping you didn't die today of old age. We've got to shift the priority, right? We have got to steal back the presidency, right? Let's not use the word steal. Let me back it up. We have got to take back the presidency through legal voting. It's terrible that you should have to say that, but Pub's got a little bit of a problem right now talking about elections, right? We've got to legally take back with our legal votes this presidency. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful morning.